Hello and welcome dear students of class 11. Today we are going to take up a lesson from your supplementary reader. It is entitled Albert Einstein at School, written by famous biographer Patrick Pringle. Children, Albert Einstein is regarded as the greatest physicist since Isaac Newton. In the following excerpt, which has been taken from his biography, The Young Einstein, the well-known biographer Patrick Pringle describes the circumstances which led to Albert Einstein's expulsion from a German school. Actually, Einstein was not expelled from the school, but he was asked to leave the school on his own accord. Children, if we look at his performance in the class, he was not a very good student. He was a rebellious boy who defied the established norms and the education system in those days. Now let's read it line by line. In what year, Einstein asked the history teacher, did the Prussians defeat the French at Waterloo? The story begins in the classroom. The history teacher is asking a question to the students. He questioned Einstein and he asked, in which year the Prussians defeat the French at the Battle of Waterloo? I don't know, sir. Einstein's reply was that he did not know the answer. Why don't you know? You have been told it often enough. The teacher was slightly ruffled. He was angry because he said that it has been taught in the class and it has been told to the students in the class often enough. So he must know the answer. I must have forgotten. Albert replied that he must have forgotten it. Did you ever try to learn? Asked Mr. Braun. Mr. Braun, who is the history teacher, he asked Albert, did he even try to learn the date? No, sir, Albert replied with his usual unthinking honesty. Albert, who was very honest, without giving it a thought that the teacher might get annoyed, he said that he did not even try to learn the date. Why not? Now the teacher is losing his cool. He is very angry. I can't see any point in learning dates. One can always look them up in a book. Albert, who was very frank and candid boy, he was honest. He said that he did not see any point in learning dates because one can always look up at the dates in a book. Mr. Braun was speechless for a few moments. The teacher was just shocked at his reply. He could not utter a word. He was dazed at the daring attitude of the boy. You amaze me, Einstein, he said at last. Don't you realize that one can always look most things up in books? That applies to all the facts you learn at school. At last the teacher said that you really amaze me, Einstein. And don't you realize that one can always look up at all the things in the books? That applies to all the facts that are taught in the class. Yes, sir. Albert admitted that it was right. Then I suppose you don't see any point in learning facts. The teacher wanted to know more about his thinking, so he said, that means that you don't see any point in learning facts. Frankly, sir, I don't, said Albert. And Albert admitted that he really did not see any point in learning dates or facts. Then you don't believe in education at all. Then the teacher said angrily, that means that you did not believe in the education system. Oh yes, sir, I do. I don't think learning facts is education. Albert said very honestly that he believed in education. He wanted to acquire knowledge, but he did not feel that learning facts is actual knowledge and education. In that case, said the history teacher with heavy sarcasm, perhaps you will be so kind as to tell the class the Einstein theory of education. Now the teacher was very angry and mocking at Einstein, he said sarcastically, then please be kind enough to tell the class the Einstein theory of education. The teacher wanted to know his views on education system, but he sarcastically coined a term and said it Einstein's theory of education. Albert flushed. Albert, he felt embarrassed. It hit him, but he said, I think it's not facts that matter, but ideas. I don't see the point in learning the dates of battles or even which of the armies killed more men. I would be more interested in learning why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. And then, very plainly, he explained to the teacher that he did not see any point in learning facts. He was more interested in ideas. He did not see any facts in learning the dates of battles or how many soldiers were killed on which side, but he would like to know why those soldiers were fighting. That makes it clear that ideas attracted him more than facts. That's enough. Mr. Brown's eyes were cold and cruel. We don't want a lecture from you, Einstein. Now, the teacher was extremely angry. His eyes were cold and cruel. See the term. And he said, we don't want a lecture from you, Einstein. You will stay in for an extra period today, although I don't imagine it will do you much good. It won't do the school any good either. The teacher immediately announced a punishment that you will stay back for an extra period, although I don't see any point that it will help you or it will do any good to the school either, but still he asked him to stay back for an extra period. Then the teacher said in anger, you are a disgrace. I don't know why you continue to come. He said, I don't see a point why you come to school. It's not my wish, Sir, Albert pointed out. And Albert, he answered back. He said it was not his wish to come to the school. Then you are an ungrateful boy and ought to be ashamed of yourself. I suggest you ask your father to take you away. Then the teacher in anger said that you are an ungrateful boy. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ask your father to take you away from the school. There is no need for you to come to the school. Albert felt miserable when he left school that afternoon. Not that it had been a bad day. Most days were bad now anyway. But because he had to go back to the hateful place the next morning. While he was returning from school, he felt very miserable, not because this was an unusual day or bad day. Every day he felt the same at school. He did not like attending his school or classes, and especially the history classes. And he was feeling that again the next day he would have to return to this hateful place. He felt that the school was a hateful place. He only wished his father would take him away, but there was no point in even asking. He knew what the answer would be. He would have to stay until he had taken his diploma. He wished that his father would remove him from the school and take him away, but he knew that his father would not listen to him and he would ask him to complete his schooling and take the school passing diploma before he left the place. Going back to his lodgings did not cheer him up. His father had so little money to spare that Albert had been found a room in one of the poorest quarters of Munich. When he returned to his lodgings, the place where he resided, it did not bring him any happiness or cheer because his father was a poor man. He was not financially very strong and so he did not have enough money and he was found a room in a very poor section of Munich in Germany. He did not mind, see the character sketch of Albert Einstein. These points are important. He did not mind the bad food and lack of comfort, or even the dirt and squalor, but he hated the atmosphere of slum violence. He did not complain about the quality of the food, or there was no comfort at the place where he lived, or the place was unhygienic or dirty. But what troubled him the most was the slum violence, the atmosphere there which he did not like at all. His landlady beat her children regularly, and every Saturday her husband came drunk and beat her. There used to be a lot of fight in the family where he was staying. The landlady used to beat up her children regularly, and on weekends when her husband returned home drunk, he used to beat up his wife, which Albert hated the most. But at least you have a room of your own, which is more than I can say, said Yuri when he called round in the evening. In the evening, when his best friend Yuri came to meet him, he told Albert that at least he has a room of his own. At least you live among civilized human beings, even if they are all poor students, said Albert. And Yuri used to live in a hostel. So Albert said that at least you live among civilized human beings. Although they are all poor students, but you live with civilized human beings. They are not at all civilized, Yuri replied. Did you not hear that one of them was killed last week in a duel? And then Yuri told that they are all not civilized. There is a lot of violence in the hostel also. And did you not hear the news that one of the students was killed the previous week in a fight, in a duel? And what happens to the one who killed him? Now Albert wanted to know what punishment was given to the boy who had murdered another boy. Nothing, of course. He is even proud of it. His only worry is that the authorities have told him not to fight any more duels. So Yuri told him no action was taken against him. Rather, he is proud of it, and he is only worried that the authorities have banned him that he should not fight any more duels. He is upset about this because he hasn't a single scar on his face to wear for the rest of his life as a badge of honor, and as a matter of fact, the boy is upset since he did not get any mark of injury on the face which he could flaunt for the rest of his life as a badge of honor. It was like a badge of honor for him. Ah, exclaimed Albert, and these are the students. And Albert then he realized he did not approve of their behavior and he said, oh, and they call themselves students. Well, you will be a student one day, said Yuri. You will be a student one day, meaning you will be a student of the college one day. I doubt it, said Albert glumly. I don't think I'll ever pass the exams for the school diploma. And Albert became very sad and gloomy and he replied, I don't think because I don't think I will ever pass the exams for the school diploma. He would not pass out the school diploma, then how will he enter the college? He told his cousin Elsa the same next time she came to Munich. Normally, she lived in Berlin, where her father had a business. Next time, when Albert's cousin Elsa came to visit him, he shared the same thing with his cousin also. Elsa used to live in Berlin, where her father had a business, and sometimes she used to come to Munich to meet Albert. I'm sure you could learn enough to pass the exams, Albert, if you tried, she said. She consoled the boy and she said, I am sure that you can learn enough to pass the exams. I know lots of boys who are much more stupid than you are, who get through. And she said that she knew many boys who were much more stupid than Albert and they passed the examination easily. See now what she says gives you a glimpse of the education system that was in those prevalent in those days. They say you don't have to know anything. You don't have to understand what you are taught. Just be able to repeat it in the exams. Elsa said that you don't have to know anything, you don't have to learn anything, and you don't have to understand what is being taught. Just cram it by heart and repeat it in the exam, and you will pass through. So, education system in those days laid emphasis only on rote learning or cramming things by heart and not understanding the things. Ideas were not encouraged, creativity was not encouraged, students were just asked to by heart or mug up the facts. That's the whole trouble, said Albert. I am no good at learning things by heart. And Albert said, that is the problem because I am not good at learning things by heart. You don't need to be good at it. Anyone can learn like a parrot. You just don't try. And yet I always see you with a book under your arm, added Elsa. What is the one you are reading? Elsa said that you don't need to be good at it. Anybody can buy hard things like a parrot. And yet I always find you reading a book. And what is the book that you are reading right now? Albert said it is a book on geology. He was reading a book on geology. Geology, that means rocks and things. Do you learn that? She said it is a book on science, rocks and other things. Are you taught science at school? No, we have hardly any science at school. See, science was not taught at school, but still he was interested in science and he used to read books on science. Then why are you studying it? Because I like it. Why did he read that book? Because he was always interested in science. He loved to read that book. Isn't that a good enough reason? Elsa sighed, and listening to his reply, the sister took a sigh. You are right, of course, Albert, she said, but it won't help you with your diploma. She said, it's right that you are interested in the book and you are reading it, but it will not help you to pass the examination. Apart from books on science, his only comfort was music, and he played his violin regularly until his landlady asked him to stop. Apart from reading books on science, what was his hobby? What did he love? He loved to play music. He used to play violin till his landlady asked him to stop. That wailing gets on my nerves, she said. There's enough noise in this house, with all the kids howling. When he played violin, the landlady asked him to stop. She called it a wailing and she said, there is already so much noise in the house. When the kids are howling, you are making more noise, so please stop it. Albert was tempted to point out that most of the time it was she who made them howl, but he decided it was better to say nothing. Albert wanted to give a reply to the landlady that she made the children howl, but he did not say anything. I must get away from here, he told Yuri after 6 months alone in Munich. It is absurd that I should go on like this. In the end, it will turn out I have been wasting my father's money and everyone's time. It will be better for all if I stop now. After spending 6 months in Munich, he was so fed up that one day he told Yuri that he must stop going to the school and he must go back from here because he said it was all useless and meaningless. In the end, it would turn out that he was wasting his father's money and everybody else's time. So he should stop going to the school and he should leave the school forever. Okay, children, we'll stop here today. In my next video, I'll continue. Thank you.